Thanks for the support as a channel member, Freddie Finlow. Well, after the disappointment of losing away against Inter earlier in this Champions League group, we now have to go away against the other big club in our group, Chelsea, knowing that if we lose again, we are really going to struggle to make it out of this group, which wouldn't be ideal. Hello and welcome to part 91 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that Champions League game away against Chelsea, and we also have a massive Ligue 1 game at home against title rivals Monaco. Since you were last with me, as you can see, our unbeaten run in the league has continued. The Inter game being the one blot on the season so far. But we're knocking the goals in when we need to knock the goals in. 6 goals going past Nantes, with actually Christopher Robin playing up front in that game, as we continue to try and fill the void that has been left by the injury to Ulrich Nguema. We put Omar out on the right, and he was excellent on the right wing, just playing as an out-and-out winger. We didn't mess around playing him as the advanced playmaker over there like we have done previously. But we certainly benefited from having Fowry back in the middle. Omar was excellent on the right. Robin getting a couple of goals, but I don't know that we should necessarily be starting him up front against Chelsea. That was his one and only game as a striker, and he doesn't exactly have a career history of scoring lots of goals. So Christopher Robin, that experiment will continue in the league, but for the Champions League, we need to do something a little bit more tried and tested, as we really need, I mean, at the very least, we need a draw against Chelsea, because we played Inter away first, and now it's Chelsea away. We do have Inter and Chelsea at home in the second half of this group. But if we're going into that with only 3 points on the board, that's still tough. That puts a lot of pressure on having to win all 3 matches, and that seems like a tall order. So we at least want the draw. So I think we have to go back to the most trusted players that we've got, which does include Samir Costa in central midfield, who he's played pretty much every game this year, a lot of them at defensive midfield while Milinkovic was injured, but he's just as comfortable playing in central midfield as well. So he gets the nod for the start. So that team in full for the Chelsea game then is Magothu in goal, and back for Simon Say, Capital and Laurent Milinkovic at the base of the midfield. Costa and Del Palacio Langer ahead of him, and then Benavides on the left, Fowry on the right, and Afkir Omar up front. We do have a potential solution to the injury problem as well, who I have added as a transfer target, and I'm just waiting for my, as you can see, we've added a few transfer targets, but this guy is somebody we are actively looking at as the Nguema. It kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It's an Nguema replacement in the short term on the right wing. Different kind of player, just a very fast, proper winger who can also play as an inside forward, inverted winger, but he can also play up front as well. I know you lot are going to love his 10 finishing, but as strikers time and time again prove, finishing is irrelevant to how good you are as a striker. And just the fact that he's got that kind of acceleration and pace and those physicals will make him a very good striker as well. He's got 6 goals from 10 appearances for Saint Etienne in the mid-table in this league so far this season. So he's certainly knocking in some goals as well. And I think we can pick him up for less than £10 million. So we will be looking to bring him in. I'm not sure if we can get him as part of the Joker transfer window and get him immediately, or if we're going to have to wait until January. Either way, we shouldn't be having to play Fowry on the right wing for too much longer. We're getting back where he belongs in central midfield. But let's not worry about that for now. For now, all focus is on trying to get a result against Chelsea. A draw is fine. A win would be super duper. What we don't want to do is come here and lose and give ourselves an absolute mountain to climb in the second half of this Champions League group. Of course, Chelsea have got an FM22 super team, haven't they? I remember. We played this lot last year, didn't we? And had all the fun of seeing that they've just basically raided the same wonder kid list as Paris Saint Germain, but got even more players off of it, which is just ridiculous. And they got the younger ones as well, so they're all a little bit older. Look, there's Makoko taking a corner. Lovely. They've got him. They've got Mariba. They've got Bellingham. They've got Gvardiol. Fofana's in there as well. Oh, it's all... Reece James is still playing. What do you know? It's alarming looking at that Chelsea team. The only positive, similar to what we say with Paris Saint Germain over and over again, is they must all be getting old now. There's going to come a time when not only do we take over Ligue 1 because PSG are all old, but we take over Europe because all the other teams are old as well. It looks like the AI is really good at downloading wonder kid lists off the Steam Workshop this year, but less good at doing long-term squad building with new gens, that's where my speciality is. Milinkovic does very well there to rescue a poor pass from Lange. Although because the ball he then had to play was a little bit rushed, it has still left us under pressure. Moukoko is in, but Magothu is there to make the save, keep it to 0-0, but it is a corner to Chelsea, and it has been all Chelsea so far, as you would expect. They're the home team. They're one of the best teams in Europe, and they're going to feel pretty confident that they can do to us what Inter have already done to us earlier this season as well. And we need to prove a point to everybody that we're serious contenders in this Champions League now, and we should be taken seriously. We shouldn't be in pot 3. Hopefully this is the last year of us being stuck in pot 3, because we're going to win Ligue this year and getting back into pot 1 again where we belong. Benavides playing it over to Omo's, dropped off a little bit there. It falls to Fowry. I think Fowry's offside. We're going to see what the referee's got to say about it, but the little poke through from Laurent to Fowry, it did look like Fowry was in an awful lot of space, but it looks like the goal has been given, so I'm going to stop trying to talk myself out of a goal. Hopefully the referee can't hear me. So there is the little... I mean, it must be somebody over here playing him onside, because he's definitely ahead of the 2 defenders either side of him. I think we're going to get it with the little... It must be him. It is. It's the right back who's playing Fowry onside, and it is 1-0 to Tor. Beautiful stuff. Blow the final whistle now, referee. We're not here for the entertainment. We're here for the result. And so far, the score is accurately reflecting what we wanted to get out of this football match. Stop doing this, you morons. Oh, my word. I know you're good at it, and I know it's looking quite impressive because it's working. But, I mean, it's great to watch, probably, as a neutral observer. But as the manager, you know that's coming. And luckily, Magothu is there to bail us out once again. But can we please quit with the shenanigans? Oh, I know I've told them to play it out of defence, but the key word in my play it out of defence instruction is out. Don't keep playing it in triangles that keep it in the defence. What I'm trying to discourage you from doing with a play it out of defence instruction, I don't want you to hit it long because Omar is 5'2". What I want you to do is play it through Milinkovic, play it into Lange, balls to feet, play it out of defence. To me, it's self-explanatory. To this lot, what I've told them to do is knock it around in little triangles and never make any progress with the ball, and it's very troubling. We nearly scored another goal there, but I'm a little upset about what I've just witnessed. How are we back down to 3rd in the group all of a sudden? We were top for a minute there, and now we're back down to 3rd. I think it must be due to the head-to-head between Inter and Chelsea, then us and Chelsea. So I guess Chelsea have beaten Inter and Inter have beaten us. So even though we are beating Chelsea, they get to be 1st and we sit in 3rd, which seems very unfair. But we just got to make sure we keep winning football matches. I guess poor Fenerbahce, they're just here to have everybody beat them. Oh, they've brought on Sesko. I mean, why not? Just have him sat there on the bench, bring him on with half an hour to go. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with it. Got any more just lying around that you want to spring on me with half an hour to go? It's unfair. They are cheating. Right. Can we? I mean, we are still winning. Let's clarify. We are still winning. They've put Reece James out to right back now. He was at left wing back in the first half, which was an unusual one. And good. I was glad he scored because it would have been a shame if all their wonder kids drew blanks today, but no, the spare one they had sat on the bench has just come on and scored immediately. Fantastic. Costa coming back with the tackle, which, I mean, it's a typical FM22 tackle where you make the tackle, but the ball ends up with the opposition anyway, because tackles are the most ineffective thing in the game. Might as well just tell them not to tackle, because it always leads to you giving possession back. I'm very upset because Chelsea are so much better than us, and I thought we were going to rob one, and now we're not going to rob one. And they're doing what I was just complaining about, but they're better at doing it. It doesn't scare me as much when they're doing it, which is weird because we've got Afkir Omar, who really should be, and Benavides, the pair of them should be in a position to nick the ball back off them when they're knocking the ball around like that. But we just never seem to do it. It only seems to be the opposition to give the ball away. But Costa's done brilliantly there to win the ball back in midfield, but then he's got a little bit too overexcited and just played it aimlessly forward, far too firmly hit for Omar to be able to get onto. And now Chelsea are in again. They take the little touch to make all the space they need to dunk it over Magothu. And this is 2 goals in 2 minutes to absolutely turn the game on its head and really make our Champions League push this year an awful lot harder than we were hoping it was going to be. I mean, we always knew it was going to be a challenge when we saw the group that we'd drawn, and then when we had the Nguema injury, because the two of those combined really does make it difficult for us to get through this group stage. We're playing a system that isn't our typical system with Fowry out wide. We're weakened in midfield. We're weakened on the right wing. So we've weakened 2 positions with 1 injury. And we're playing against 2 really good teams. Right, Laurent is tired. He can come off. Benavides is tired. Not Christopher Robin. Travis Mantelo can come on for him. And then Christopher Robin will get to come on. He's going to come on for Del Palacio Langer in a triple change. And hopefully, Mr. Big Game, Mr. European Football, Christopher Robin hasn't used up all of his goals in that 6-1 win over Nantes that I played immediately before this one. Although he is now back playing in central midfield rather than as the centre forward like he was in that game. I mean, I guess now we know he can play as a striker. There's always the option to stick him up front alongside Omar in situations like this. But I don't think away against Chelsea when you're only 1 goal behind is the time to start experimenting with unfamiliar systems. The experimentation can all take place in the league against the teams we should be beating comfortably, like we did by playing Robin up there in the last match. Can we offer a little bit of encouragement and hope that there's just somebody with a little moment of individual brilliance, like kicking a Chelsea player in the back of the knee and getting a red card? I mean, that's exactly what I was looking for. Oh, he's not even been sent off. I don't know why it was a highlight then. What a strange one. I mean, we've been absolutely dominated. Look at those match stats. We do not deserve anything out of this game. And it looks like today the universe is going to be fair and we are not going to get anything out of this game. And we just need to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep all eyes focused in on Inter, because we're only 3 points behind them. Chelsea, we're not catching now. We're 6 points behind them, 3 games to go. We're not catching Chelsea, even though we have got to play them again. But if we win our next 3 games, one of which is away against the Whipping Boys and the other 2 are home games, we can win all 3 of them. We do still have a chance of sneaking through into the knockout round, and sneaking is exactly what we're going to look to do. Nice, comfortable little 3-0 win away against Le Havre, and big transfer news. We've used the Joker transfer window thing for the first time. That allows you to buy 1 player from another French club during the period when the window is closed. I think that's how it works. Either way, Andre Cruz, who we just looked at, is a tour player. He's our new number 9. He can play on the right wing. He can play up front. We're obviously going to be using him primarily on the right wing initially while Nguema is unavailable. And then when Nguema is back again, who knows? He can compete up front. Nguema can maybe finally get a go in central midfield. There's plenty of options for us, but to be able to bring in a guy who, playing for a mid-table team, Saint Etienne are 10th in the league, but he's scored 7 goals, 2 assists, 5 man of the matches, and a 7.17 average of just 11 games this season. He is definitely a player who has started this season on fire for Saint Etienne. If we look at the top goal scorers in the division, you've got Omar joint 2nd, and then joint 4th is Del Palacio Langer and Andre Cruz. Travis Mantelo right up there as well, as he continues to rattle in the goals coming off the bench. He's having a lovely time this season, but getting the new boy in means he can come straight into the team for this massive game against Monaco. It seems we are destined to never be able to play a complete midfield, though, because no sooner does Cruz arrive than Del Palacio Langer joins Nguema on the injury list. He's only going to miss this game, hopefully, just a couple of days injury, but Christopher Robin is going to play in central midfield in his absence. So the team is Magothu in goal, a back four of Simon, Say, Capital and Laurent Milinkovic at the base of the midfield, with Fowry and Robin ahead of him, and then Benavides on the left, Cruz on the right, and Afkir Omar up front. We've got our 2 Colombian wingers both playing together, neither of them with a cap for Colombia either, so I can only assume that Colombia have some incredible attacking players if we've got players like this who are rattling in the goals in one of Europe's top leagues and don't even get the call up into the squad. In fact, I say that, I think Benavides may be... Okay, he's not played, but he has been called up. Inexplicably not actually yet played. But Cruz, I guess, probably has more of a chance being 4 years younger than Benavides is. Why is everything happening so slowly? We haven't turned the speed down. This is weird. This is like one of those highlights when you're playing multiplayer and the other team's making a substitution and everything just goes really slowly and it's a nothing highlight. But clearly that's not what it is, because the pace is now picked up And now we are under attack from Monaco, who are trying to create some space on this right-hand side. In fact, there's a huge amount of space for them there in that little pocket in central midfield where, I mean, it's Christopher Robin, I guess, is the guy who should be closing him down, or Fowry, but he's kind of stepped up out of defence. They're playing a flat back six, and this guy, Kraus, who's the guy who had the shot, I guess, is going to get plenty of space because he's just sat there in front of a back three, and we don't have anyone in this area. It's an area where Del Placio Langer would normally occupy a man, but Christopher Robin, as much as I love him, he's not Del Placio Langer and probably isn't going to cause as many problems in that area as he would. Laurent, though, on the right-hand side, we want to get the ball to Cruz. We want to first look at our new boy. He is quick. Fowry across to Benavides and Simon from range, but it's pushed around the post by the Monaco goalkeeper. It's our first corner, at least the first corner, worthy of a highlight in this match. Paris Saint Germain have just gone ahead through Erling Haaland in their game against Saint Etienne, the club that we robbed Cruz from. I've got to feel a little bit sorry for them, but they've just made £10 million. So you know what? They've not done too badly. This is French football. If someone starts looking any good at one of the smaller teams, one of the bigger teams is going to take that player off of them. Welcome to playing in a farmers league. This is how it works. The stronger clubs always prey on the weak. We had it happen to us enough times. It's about time we've been able to start doing it to some other clubs. Poor old Saint Etienne, 3-0 now for Paris Saint Germain, as we remain 0-0 with Monaco, who did start the season really strongly. Have struggled a little bit in recent weeks. Rennes are having an absolute flying time. 5-0 up over Nantes, who we did put six past very recently, but they're up in third place, and we could really use a goal here to maintain that nice little lead at the top of the table that we'd stretched out for ourselves. Right, we're not going to take off too many players here, and we're just really going to be bringing players off for tiredness. In fact, we're not, because how have I not got a centre back on the bench? What is going on here? Right, we're going to leave everybody on because we're playing against Monaco and we want to win the match. Cruz taking the corner. It's an in-swinger looking for Capital, and very nearly, I think that one's hit the crossbar. And now with 10 minutes to go, we probably do need to change some things up. Benavides can come off for Manctolo, and hopefully he's got another goal in him. Neither of these two are playing well. I wonder if we just do that for the last 10 minutes and see what happens. And then Fowry can come off for Costa. Laurent can come off for Antoine. And we go Cruz up front, Omar on the right. Because, of course, Cruz has been scoring lots of goals. And neither of them are playing well today. You may as well swap them around for the last 10 minutes and just see what happens. Ultimately, if we end up just drawing this game, I guess it's not a disaster. We stay top of the league. Yeah, we stay unbeaten. That's the important thing. I kind of thought we'd win at least one of the matches in today's episode, though. So it does feel a little bit like we're losing some of the momentum that we had. But hopefully we regain that momentum tomorrow when we're back in the Champions League with some must-win games. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.